Welcome back to the MyGen Draft League. I am Harry, coach of the Rilla Boomers. Today we take on Anthony and the Wholesome Hippos. It's a must-win game for both of us as we both want to make a push towards the playoffs. So let's get straight into team preview. As we look at the two lineups, straight away I notice there's a huge issue with his core and how I'm going to break through it. That core of Clefable, Garchomp, Melodic and Copperaja has been causing a lot of issues for a lot of coaches in this league. So we'll definitely need to take that core apart. So I think everyone sort of recognised that Arctozolt would be a huge issue for Anthony, but the more I played around with it, the more I sort of realised that it just wasn't going to work. Arctozolt's a little bit frail, and it kind of finds, every time I try and use it, it just finds opportunities hard to come by, to come in, set hail, boost its speed, boost that terrain with electric moves as a Dynamax, and then outside of Dynamax, it just seems too easy to play around. So we're not going with Arctozolt at all. Something that does help me is definitely Sableye. It can help to burn things like Garchomp, Copperaja, and Lanoon. Obviously immune to Lanoon's extreme speed as well, which helps a lot. It's not going to help me too much against Clefable, even though I would like to be able to taunt it so it can't set up. I'm just going to die to a Moonblast, so we can't rely on that. However, we can stop Melodic from healing itself, which can be really handy. And also, if we're using Toxic, he can't poison us, so that's really good as well. So that's our physically defensive wall, and that's why I've given him a Rocky Helmet as well. So definitely looking for opportunities against Garchomp and Copperaja. Our special wall is the Illuminati Lantern. I've given it Water Absorb this week, so it gives it a bit more options in terms of switching into Melodic. I've given it Leftovers just to increase its longevity. It's a slow Volt Switcher. Given it Ice Beam, obviously for Garchomp switches, as well as Scald, so hopefully to help me out with some of those physical switch-ins as well. And I've given it Heal Bell, just in case Melodic does try to spread some poison around. Same with Clefable as well. Rillaboom, I did think about going for a Choice Band this week, but I didn't do that. I went for a Sword Stance. Set with that Grassy Glide, I think that it can become a bit of a late game sweeper for me, and with Drain Punch can help me outlast things like Copperaja as well. Then I've got the big Nacho, Hawlucha. I've given it an Expert Belt just to help with those super effective moves. Given it Thunder Punch, Drain Punch, and Iron Head, which hits his team quite well in most areas. I've got Car Coil as my hazard, setter and remover, so Stealth Rock, Spikes, Rapid Spin, and Will-O-Wisp, and it's physically defensive with Flame Orb. And I've given it Will-O-Wisp as well, just so maybe if I can predict some switch-ins, like if Garchomp wants to come in and try to use Earthquake, I can try and burn it on the switch. And then my Dynamax this week is Azelf, so I've gone for a Jolly Nature and just a well-rounded attack, so Thunder Punch, Ice Punch, Drain Punch, which can also boost its attack with Max Knuckle, and Iron Tail as well. So that's my team. We'll see how we go. The match is in an hour or so, so yeah, wish us luck. Alright, we're back. Unfortunately, this is a replay of the match. There was a bit of an issue with the original recording, so we're going to do a little bit of a replay because it wasn't too difficult to remember. So just bear with us here. We'll try and get it as close as we can to the actual match, and I'll explain things as we go with it. So I lead Rillaboom here. He leads with his Dynamax Garchomp, which was a really big surprise, really threw me off. Definitely put me on the back foot early, but I guess, I mean, you'll see what happens, but it all works out. I think it evens itself out in the beginning. Alright, so I'm looking at his team and just thinking that nothing really wants to switch in to Rillaboom here. So I go Grassy Glide. And he Dynamaxes. Obviously I'm predicting Max Airstream here, which I'm not really happy about. I was kind of hoping that he would just switch out that turn, but I didn't have anything safe to switch in either, so I guess I kind of had to take that gamble, which I guess showed to me that Rillaboom wasn't the right lead, but obviously I wasn't expecting him to lead his Dynamax. He goes Max Airstream, which puts me in a pretty tricky position, because obviously I'm not going to do enough damage to Garchomp with Grassy Glide, and I don't want to die on the next turn, so I'm hoping that he's boosted his speed. I know that he learns fighting moves, so I'm going to go into Sableye, just predicting that switch, and I am max HP, max defense in Sableye, so I'm kind of banking on myself surviving a hit and then going for Will-O-Wisp. Alright, so Anthony's just asking some questions about the match. Alright, so I go Will-O-Wisp on this turn. He goes for Max Whirlwind, the Dragon move. And then it puts him in a tricky position, because obviously he doesn't want to switch anything into a knockoff. Like he doesn't want Melodic to lose its Flame Orb, doesn't want Golbat to lose its Eviolite, doesn't want Cryogonal to lose its probably heavy duty boots. Alright, so we did go knockoff on this turn, but to our surprise he did stay in. And goes for Scale Shot, which I'm sure if he boosted his attack, Scale Shot could be a real problem. Obviously we didn't give him that chance, and then it's all a little bit of cat and mouse after here. I just keep healing myself up with grassy terrain and recover. He's taking burn damage and he's lowering his own defense with Scale Shot. I think in the original match, I don't know if it was that Scale Shot or the next one, but he did miss a Scale Shot. Not that it really mattered. And then obviously I'm just keeping an eye on my health, making sure that when Garchomp does eventually die, that I'm not in too bad of a health position. Yeah, so obviously I think we dealt with Garchomp pretty well there. Obviously taking a lot of damage on Rillaboom wasn't good, but I was definitely worried when I did see Garchomp in his Dynamax position in that 6th spot. I was kind of expecting Copperaja. I wasn't really expecting to see Cryogonal. I kind of thought he'd bring Gothitelle. Alright. So I think this was pretty similar to how the original played out. I might have been a bit higher health because he did miss that one scale shot, but it doesn't really matter. Alright, so Garchomp goes down there. Then obviously forces me to switch out here by bringing in Clefable. So I go into my special wall in Lantern. And obviously the damage from Clefable's Moonblast is a bit more than ideal. And I think in the original match, I think I completely blanked. For some reason I think I thought, see I didn't get the burn in the original. I think I just misread the situation when I played the first time, and I thought that Clefable went first on that turn, and obviously I was wrong. So on this turn when I went Volt Switch, which I'm pretty sure he's done more damage to me than in the original as well, but when I Volt Switch out, I thought that Clefable had gone before me before, so I actually thought that he was going to use Teleport that turn. So this was a big mistake by me. I went into Sableye because I was looking at what he had left other than Clefable, and obviously he wasn't going teleport, and I was already outspeeding him. So yeah, this is just a really, really bad play by me. But it didn't work out too bad. I decide to go big here. I go into Azelf. Doing some calcs. I didn't, based on, I think he's a little bit lower on health than he should have been, but based on some calcs, I decided that he's probably either going to switch out or I'd be better off getting the attack boost here. So I do go for Max Knuckle. And he does switch into Melodic here, which I'm unsure if it ended up being a roll or not. So it'll be interesting to see if this replay does play out the same. The tricky thing with Azelf Dynamaxing is obviously some of the moves are kind of disguised behind the max move, so I guess he could assume here that me using Max Knuckle that it's a physical set, but he doesn't know it for sure because you know, it could be a mixed set, you don't know. Once I start using moves, and Azelf's got such a wide move pool, interesting stats how it's got even in physical attack and special attack. So it's really hard to read the situation and know what you're really up against in that Dynamax roll. Alright, so in the original game, this Max Lightning does kill, so yeah, we'll just see. We'll just see if it plays out the same. Might just fix up this a little bit. Alright, so hopefully it works out the same and melodic dies. I wasn't watching then. Yeah. Alright, so kind of working out the same at the moment. And that was obviously big then. Melodic dying like that was huge. He goes into Clefable here. And then obviously he doesn't know that I've got Max Steel Surge here. He actually commented after the game, he's just like, what the hell with Azelf's move pool? And you know, he's 100% right. Azelf's got a ridiculously good move pool. Can just fill so many roles. And you can just see there, like within the 3 Dynamax turns, I've just completely crippled his team. There's not a lot that he can really do going forward without Clefable and Melodic. The good thing about Anthony's team, he does have a lot of healing. Obviously I took out 2 there. Melodic's got Recover and Clefable's got Soft Boiled. He's also got Golbat that's got Roost. So he does have a lot of healing options. Alright, so he should be going into Golbat here. Yeah, so far everything's working out the same. Basically the same as it did originally. No real differences. So I go Thunder Punch here. Which doesn't do a great deal, and he goes Haze. Which Brave Bird kind of works out good for me because it puts me in range. Which I guess it would, yeah. So Brave Bird was pretty important there. I think he said after he did mean to go Roost, which obviously would have been a lot better for him. Because now he's going to get outsped and doesn't really matter what he does, he's dying on the next turn. Alright. So obviously at this point, he's pretty much giving up. He just wasn't prepared for the set that I brought on Azelf, and to be honest, I know it was a misplay by me bringing in Sableye when I did, but it actually worked out quite well because it gave me a good switch into just put some pressure on. Azelf came in for free, and as you can see, just completely decimated his team. So he goes Blizzard this turn. Hopefully it hits. Yeah, alright, that's fine. Hopefully it doesn't get the freeze though. Yeah, alright, that's fine. Everything's working out basically the same as it did originally. Alright, Kroganol goes down. And the way this last couple of turns plays out made me sort of wonder why Copperage didn't come out earlier. So I go Drain Punch here, obviously. He goes for Heavy Slam and gets the kill, but I mean, he could have done that a little bit earlier. I'm not sure that it would have made too much of a difference, but I mean, we'll never know. Alright, so this easily kills. Azelf finally goes down. And then we just finish it off with Halucha. So yeah, obviously a really big game by Azelf there, so I was really happy with that. I don't think either of us played amazingly well. He really threw me off with that heavy offense at the start, but I think it's really hard to go heavy offense physically when you've got something like Sableye that can pretty much come in and just wall you and bring it back and heal itself up. But I can understand why he did that, and even if he was just trying to fake his Dynamax at the start, I can see why he followed through and went for Max Airstream when he's looking at Rillaboom in front of him, and he knows that if he gets Rillaboom out of the way early, that his life becomes a lot easier. So I can understand that, and obviously he wasn't prepared for what Azelf did. Definitely brought the right move pool for Azelf, so yeah, that's just the way it worked out. Next week we've got Grant and the West Arcanine, so we'll look forward to that. We also secured a spot in the YouTube Challengers League playoffs today. We still have one round to go where we have a chance of getting that number 1 seed in the pool. But yeah, good things happening. Glad I got that win because I did lose my last couple. Yeah, so good game, Anthony.